many groups come here to take Holy Communion, and they will start in a minute. People order it in a certain time, I think 9 o'clock, and they will come now. Okay, they're arriving. So we will stay a moment. You read chapter 21
Yes.
of John. What you read, he said, I go fishing. Other said, they come, they took, and how far they went from the shore. Somebody remembers? Written? Not in the first verse. It's read several verses later. How far they came. Take your time.
cubits.
Very good. Which verse?
8.
8. Can, okay, group B, can you read verse 8?
Verse 3 ago. But the other disciples came in the little boat, for they were not far from land, but about 200 cubits.
Thank you very much. This is, there are 3 kinds usually in my book, but it's not here. I show you pictures, daily life in Jesus' time, of the 3 kinds of fishing. This is kind of fishing that you take the boat into the sea. Again, 200 meters. Sorry, 100 meters, 200 cubits. Cubit is from here to here. We have a long cubit, short cubit, and medium cubit. Right? Medium cubit, half a meter. 2 cubit, 1 meter, which is 1 yard for Americans, right? So 200 cubit, 100 meters. This is the distance. You never go deep into the sea. Remember, close to the shore, very important. This is where you find the plankton. This is where the fish are eating the plankton. And when you do it during the day or during the night? When is the time of fishing? At the night. At the night. Because they are not stupid fish. During the day, once you put the net, they see the shade and run away. At night they don't see it. And nowadays you put even light, projectors to make them blind, so they fall into the net without planning. And remember, at night almost no winds. It's like early in the morning. You understand? The storms are during the day, middle day, 2 o'clock. Remember streams, how far from the shore, and when you do it. Remember this. Because if you look in Luke, chapter 6, when Jesus wanted to talk to the crowd, he asked a favor from a guy there. His name was Peter. Please, can I borrow your boat for a moment? And he said, of course. Because he saw Peter and Andrew and John and James. They are, in the morning, they were putting their nets, right? I mean, not putting, how to say, opening the net. All night they were working and they got nothing. And now Jesus, in the day, in the morning, tells them, can I use your boat? They said yes. So he took the boat, entered to the water, and talked from the boat to the crowd. So now he wants to give them reward because they gave him to use the boat. So what he told them, remember, invited them, come, take your boat, and look what he said. Go deep. You remember the word deep? Now, never, fishermen never go deep. And go now, but they said, we all night didn't find anything. So now, during the day, no chance. And go, he pointed to them, but it's against the streams and against. So Peter, okay, we do what you say, according to your will. It was total against all knowledge, professional fishermen. And you remember what happened. They got and cried to the other boat to come to help them because almost what you prayed before, your ways are not our ways. Your thoughts are not our thoughts. Don't expect that Jesus will tell them to do or tell us to do the logic, normal things. It doesn't work like this. Okay? So here, there were 100 yards. And where this 100 yards, till a year ago you could see it because the water was so far away. You could see all the stones there. But this last winter was excellent. And look, the water arrived back here. So there happened so important things there. So important in chapter 21. Just one thing. One thing I would like. After, you remember that somebody called them in the morning, the first voices. What was the first word that they've heard? Because they get nothing. Nothing. Many times I try to make it realistic to people. It's like I ask, it can be that you will leave your home to your car and you drive 10 minutes and you don't see any car around you. Can it happen to you? Okay. It can happen to you that you will drive half an hour from your home and you don't see anyone.
No.
Say no. And what you will do if you drive 2 hours and you don't see any car around you? What you will do?
I'd be afraid.
Be afraid. What else? Worried. What else?
I will call someone to pick
Someone to see if rapture happened. And you understand? I go to 3 hours, 5 hours. But this is exactly what happened to this group. Here, in this place. 5 minutes. You feel something moves in the net. And you understand what happened to this group? Why? All night. And in the morning, what is the greatest fear? Tax collector is standing on the shore. Okay, I give you some data. You have to understand it. And the tax collector is shouting, Peter! Because he knows the boat. He recognizes it, as you'll see in Luke. In Mark chapter 6, they recognize it from more than 12 kilometers on the other side. They recognized the boat of Peter when it moved to Capernaum and they started running on the lake to meet it. So, I mean, here, of course, he recognized it. Peter, how much you got? And poor Peter, all Galilee will know that he got nothing. You understand the shame? Today people make shaming with, I don't know, Facebook, I don't know which one. You understand how good it will be? It was a nightmare for them. And there was voice in the morning. What was the first word that they've heard that this voice carried? What is the first word? Children. Some edition, right? Friends. Ever tax collector called you friend? Ever bookie counter called you friend? I never. Okay, I don't see them at all. My wife, she deals with them, or my brother, right? They're not friends. So just the word children. For John, this was like a coin falling. He understood everything. Everything that happened. It tells Peter, it is the Lord. You understand how we have to be careful. One word, not more. Watchman Nee, I'm sure.
Yeah,
You have heard
Watchman
his name.
Normal Christian life.
Yeah. He said in one place, this is real Christianity. One word make the change. When Jesus turned to Mary, you remember in the grave, she was weeping. And she saw the garden. What she said? Did you found where they took? And what he did? Just one word. What was the word?
Mary.
Our name.
her name.
But it's not Mary. It's Mary. The way that he called her, I don't know how he called her, but it was something very unique. The way that he called her, Mary. She recognized how much again the word, how we call our beloved, how we call our children, how we call our grandchildren. How we, you understand one word, and boom, they recognize. John said to Peter, it is the Lord. Now Peter understood it, no doubt on the spot. But what was his reaction? What he did? He jumped to the water, and what he did, what he was putting,
Outer garment.
outer garment. Why? Because
He took it off.
he was, look in your editions.
Yeah.
Tell me what is written. Why he was putting his outer garment. Find the
He had
verse.
removed it. He had removed it. He put on
Find the verse.
7. 21.
Everyone found verse 7? So, I want to hear most of you the same edition. Right? New King James Version?
Yeah.
Thank you, very good. I like it. What you have?
The same, for he had removed it.
But
New
read,
King
read
James.
all the same.
Okay, verse 7. Therefore, that disciple whom Jesus loved said to Peter, it is the Lord. Now when Simon Peter heard that it was the Lord, he put on his outer garments, for he had removed it, and plunged into the sea.
Thank you. If you look at other editions, you find they try to be correct. What is correct? To translate straight from Greek, ignoring totally the Hebrew culture. And what you think it translated to Greek? He was what? Naked.
Bold.
Why you say oh?
No, bold.
Bold. Naked.
Naked.
For Hebrew culture, if I will give it to an Israeli guy, or I don't speak religious guy, that the leader was naked, take the book, I don't want to hear any words anymore. You understand what is the meaning? For Hebrew culture, a leader will be naked around him. On the other side, for Greek culture, making theater, sports, competing in all this, naked. They admired the body, the muscles, the physics. You know, they admired it. For them, it is just the opposite thing. Culture. Culture. So, thanks God, New King James Version. Years ago, Victor, others wrote very politely, very nice way. You cannot write naked. It's far away from the culture that was in those days. It cannot be. Outer garment, yes. Very good. Again, the word. The word. And I repeat again, for Israeli, if they will hear this naked, they don't need it anymore. Take it, I don't want to read anymore. Just to understand. Okay. Now, he was put his outer garment. And what happened there? Come on, Group B.
8. But the other disciples came in the little boat, for they were not far from land, about 200 cubits,
Yeah.
dragging the net with fish. Then, as soon as they had come to land, they saw a fire of coals there, and fish laid on it and bread.
So, already the food will be already. And now there comes something strange. What Jesus told
Jesus
them.
said to them, "Bring some of the fish which you have just caught."
Now you thought about this? What is the meaning? What? How many fish they caught?
Net.
153.
153. In which verse it's written?
11.
In verse 11. You thought about the meaning of this? You think it has a meaning, the 153? You are sure? Okay, what is the meaning?
I don't remember.
Look, I'm very careful.
For first timer, let them.
I'm very careful. Again, if you will be in Daniel Carmel, they will tell you that if you take in Gematria, the letters of 153 in Gematria, I am El Shaddai, things like this.
Species of fish.
One pastor was standing here and he said, how many countries are now in the United Nations? And there was a moment and somebody said 153. You see? The problem that a week later, there were 154. And a few months later, more than 200 countries, yeah, in the United Nations. So what? It works like this? I really don't give a very careful with Gematria. It is very strong in Jewish life because the mysticism in the Kabbalah, wow, Gematria, you can't believe how much. It's almost parallel to me to astrology. What is the situation? Where is Vega, where is the Deneb, and the Earth, and this will affect our lives. What is the connection? Each one of these stars, one belongs to the eagle, one to the swain. There are hundreds of years stars between them, far away. What are these meaning? You understand? Okay, never leave astronomy now. God is warning us because astrology is another medium. And God says, don't look. Don't take signs from them. You understand?
Yes, yes.
So, what is important? When Jesus is around you, give exactly the numbers. They got 153. Don't say around 150. Remember the tax collector is crying. Peter, how much you got? 153. To be loyal in the numbers is for every book a counter. Know and feel that the Lord is just standing above you. He knows. And if you are faithful, you see the little thing, the correct thing, He will give you more. In our company, my wife Esther, she of course makes all the miracles, not me. And the problem with Esther is also, original, her parents from Germany, so she is. The problem, she's looking also at the two numbers after this. So she will write 153.67. I try all our life. Leave the 0.67. It has no meaning. No, this is the number.
Count times.
Precise German.
Very precise.
Count times.
That's why we don't sell anything cash. We don't want anything around the business in cash. Everything has to have paper,
Accounting,
receipts,
check
and
and
so
balance.
on. And I don't want to tell you what happens now with our Prime Minister. On what they blame him. Bibi Netanyahu, Just to think that we will have a Prime Minister sitting in jail. Okay? We had one before him, Ehud Olmert. 3 years he was in jail because of corruption with money with Jerusalem municipality. To be faithful, so important. But the question that I want to ask, if he prepared already, the meal, why he wants them to bring from what they got? Why he wants? Let me ask. Let us try to dramatize it for a moment. Okay? So who wants to be Yeshua? Come on, groupie, come on.
Yeshua, ikaw na lang.
Sit over there. Now, how many there were? 7. Very good. I will point at 7 people to stand.
7 times 1, 2, 3, 4.
Okay, one, four, all the rest, let's just very shy.
Esto dijo aludiendo a la
What
muerte
have
con
we?
que iba a dar gloria a Dios. Dicho
What you
esto,
got?
añadió,
What they got? What they got?
Pedro comiendo
What kind of fish?
Peter.
Big. Remember, big. No one was
se
small.
había apoyado en su pecho
Peter,
y le había preguntado al Señor, ¿quién es el que te va
you think you can hold it in one hand?
a Pedro dice a Jesús,
Exactly.
Señor, y es
You have to hold because it's very slippery.
Jesús le contestó,
Still, you don't
When Jesus eats.
quiero que se queden hasta que yo venga.
to go to Jesus one by one and do what? One by one.
Bring fish.
El rumor de que este discípulo no moriría.
Let Jesus go there one by one. I want you to
No moriría. Y quiero que se quede hasta que yo venga. Así dijo. Este es el discípulo que da testimonio de todo esto que lo ha escrito. Y nosotros sabemos que su testimonio es verdadero. Palabra del Señor.
now invite Peter.
Muy buenos días a todos. Quiere decir que estamos aquí donde el Señor
Jesus,
crucificado encontró.
what is the first word of Jesus to Peter?
Simon, son of Jonah, do you love me more than these?
Read it again
Simon, son
and
of Jonah.
dramatize it.
Ah,
Dramatize it.
Simon, son of Jonah, do you love me more than these?
Read it again. You didn't do it yet. You didn't find the
now.
point.
Yes.
Read it again. You have to dramatize every word.
Dramatize mo. Simon.
Simon, son of Jonah, do you love me more than these?
But you say 3 times this, and you more than this.
This is the fish.
Aha!
The fish. More than the fish.
Aha! You see that? I was. Simon Peter, son of Jonah, do you love me more than this? When you say the word this, you have to point. You say to this mountain and you will move. You say to this mountain. You say to this sycamore. You say to this, you have to point on something. What could be T-H-E-S-E, not T-H-I-S-E. Give me from what you just got. And they put a pile of 7 big fish. I was not there when it happened. But this is what I see in my eyes. And that's why dramatizing many times is the key to understand the word. Dramatizing. And you know with whom we are dramatizing? Usually with little children. Little children, they like to do it. And you put on clothes and so. Be little children and dramatize the word. So many, revelations are coming suddenly when you dramatize it. Because people, if you look commentaries, I'm not a man of commentaries, but pastors, I've heard. What could be the deeds? Pointing on the sheep, pointing on the sea, pointing on this, pointing on this. You understand what I mean?
Yeah.
Because it's a question. Do you love me more than these? Only the first time. Second, third time, he didn't ask it. I think the last event that happened is give me from what you got. What is the meaning of what he asked? What is the meaning of what you see now in front of your eyes? What do you feel? Why he did it? why they had to make this act, even though already the fish were ready.
Offering to Jesus as an offer?
What again?
As an offer? Like a sacrifice?
He wanted them to offer,
Offer.
you say.
Offer all.
Give more, give more. What is the meaning? Remember how the chapter started.
Yeah,
Give everything.
the fish is their livelihood.
And do what?
Their livelihood. It's their
Source
source
of
of
income.
income. So
Source
Tithe?
of income, but more.
That is their
It's
life. So you
It's their tithe,
surrender
the
your-
first.
What? Okay, you are around it. What Jesus said in Matthew chapter 16 when he started from verse 32 and so on, think, to 22 and on. Everyone that wants to follow me, what he has to do?
Give up.
Laid on his cross. Take up his cross.
Deny
Deny himself. Himself.
himself. This,
is denying themselves.
this is what the disciples are. They are fishermen. How Peter started the chapter? Let us go back fishing. All of them come. What does it mean to deny yourself? To deny your profession. To deny all what is around your name. To deny it. What does it mean to deny? To put it. To put it physically on the ground offering to God. And now you're empty-handed. Now you start from beginning and follow me. Not empty-handed because it tells them carry cross. You understand? Not carry fish, carry a cross and follow. This is very picture thing. It's not philosophical idea. You see the picture in front of your eyes. And this is something that I can tell you the way that I had to pass this moment, it was a shocking. It was 1981. I finished with the orchestra. But you know, they called me several times. They played Brahms Symphony. They needed more double bass. Arie, please, come. We have a concert, and you know, very famous conductor coming from abroad. Please, we need to have a full, you know. And I made a mistake. And I said, okay, I will come and play. And I didn't touch the bass for a long time. And I started, you know, in the orchestra, and it's like drug. It's like a man that is clean for drug, and again, put it. I don't know, I don't understand in drugs and in smoking, I never did it. But for me, it was even more hard. You understand? Suddenly, again, being on the stage and feel the vibration, you know, of all the music and double bass, you feel it, Wow! It was a mistake. It took me months later to deny it. I mean, really. And look, 1981, we are 12 musicians leading in Israel. We had a conference where first time we started what we call the messianic music in Israel. And we were, everyone, you know, sitting there. Now, I brought my double bass for them, right? And there was a corner, wall, the double bass was leaning on the corner. Now, double bass is a big thing. And when it leans on the corner with all the weight, no way for this to move. You understand? All sitting, suddenly, in front of our eyes, the double bass that was leaning started doing this.
Oh my God.
Doing this, we all saw it. No one moved, and before, you know, paf, falling on the bridge, and the strings, the bridge broke. The strings were like snakes, like 4 snakes, you know, string of double bass. Everyone was in shock. they look at me and I say, thank you, Lord. And I was smiling. They were shocked, it cost so much, double fish, these kind of things. And I'm happy. I needed it. For me, this was what he told them.
Yeah.
Give me from what you got. And they are putting on the ground. And this is the act. We finished one part of our life. We're ready, empty-handed. We have to pass this moment in our life. We cannot look backward like wife of Lot.
Lot.
The moment we look backward, that's what happened to me.
Yeah.
Right? Again, like, where are all the memories? No. And that's why I think to myself, this is the most important in following Jesus. And this is a must. Die for yourself.
Nice.
No, I just wanted one thing. And now, second time he didn't ask me, do you love me more than this? Because he's saying to him. And then he started and gave him a new mission. The new mission to turn him from a fisherman
Fisher of men.
or shepherd.
Yes.
And again, I don't need to share with you. You've heard it. A fisherman holds the fish. How long? Half a second. He holds it too small because he gets in the net. Right. I don't know. Again, he never do beautiful. I love you. I like you. Hugging him. Never. A fisherman has to judge like pruning the vine. Pack. But we are not. The Lord doesn't want us to have this character to jump. He wants us to develop contact of a shepherd to the lamb. And this is so important. Remember, the first thing, feed the lamb. Hugging, talking, giving name. Don't be a fisherman. Heart. Be a shepherd. I want to end in reading letter of Peter. Peter himself writes. He wrote 2 letters. Look on first letter of Peter, the last chapter, chapter 5. And let us look, because always we ask ourselves, did Peter become a real shepherd? This great fisherman became a shepherd. So let us group in. Let us hear. Let us hear what Peter says.
Verse 1.
Yes.
1 Peter chapter 5:1. The elders who are among you I exhort, I who am a fellow elder and a witness of the sufferings of Christ, and also a partaker of the glory that will be revealed. Shepherd the flock of God which is among you, serving as overseers, not by compulsion but willingly.
Look, I like to put in brackets, like I did. You see? But
willingly,
willing.
not for dishonest gain, but eagerly.
Brackets, like I did. You see how Peter changed?
But eagerly, nor as being lords over those.
No, as being Lord, like I did. He was Lord. The words of Jesus to Peter, the rooster will not cry, you deny me 3 times. Is a punishment. A arrogance of Peter. Remember how he answered Jesus. Luke 23, when Jesus told him, I dreamt, I saw him at night. He's shaking. Peter falling on his knees and said, thank you, Lord. I need your... You pray for me? Don't you know that I'm ready to go to die for you? With arrogance attitude. And the answer came immediately. Punishment. The rooster will not cry you did not eat. You? I'm not like that. They let you wash, I will not let you. You see, all the time competing his followers. Remember, a leader cannot compete. The people that he's leading, that led by him, he cannot. He cannot show them that he's stronger, that he's quicker, that he's mightier. You see the point? He has to be strong enough to carry when it's needed. When it's needed. The lost sheep. He left the other in the desert, in the sheepfold, by the way, with the little children. In the lost sheep. Remember, so when they left them in the desert, again, people that have no idea how he left them in the desert. They are in danger. No. You bring them to a sheepfold like in Adullam. You put the children to watch them so they are protected. And now, in the desert, where you have the sheepfold, you understand? And now he goes to fight. What does it mean he goes to fight? He knows a sheep, not a goat. And the sheep, it was because he broke her leg. Where? Where was the hard place that she might jump but not be able? You understand? And he will go till he will come to this brook. And then he will, bah, and he will go, and he will carry her and bring her. You see the full picture. So this is a total different of character than a fisherman. And look how beautiful Peter say about himself, not lording over them. And now go on.
But being examples to the flock. And when the chief shepherd appears, you will receive the crown of glory that does not fade away.
Amen. Chief shepherd. Indian name. Look what a lesson he gave him. And I tell you, and by this we finish. When I share this lesson with my friend Bedouin Khalil Abu Dapwa, it's amazing. It's amazing. All the time he talks, it's amazing. In 9 words. Everything that we should have. You know, remember the 9 rules, 3, 3, 3.
Yes.
And then he told me. And of course I had to tell him this is Yeshua, sharing, and of course we had a lot of nights talking about Yeshua. He's a Muslim guy. He's a Muslim guy. I gave him, of course, Hebrew, Bible, New Testament in Arabic and so on. But what he liked so much, you know what? The glue. I call it the glue. What is the glue? That put all the three.
Do you love me?
That ties them together. What is the glue?
Do you
Question.
love me? Do you love me?
Do you love me? Do you love me? And of course I know why he liked it. He had 5 daughters. Lovely wife. I knew her very well. Very well. As much as you know Bedouins, you know. And 5 girls. All the time he wanted to have a boy. For them. And he's coming out here, what do you think? Should I marry another woman? She gave me only daughters. Only daughters. I told him, Khalil, don't dare to think about it. You have a great wife. Look how she's growing the daughters. They come with you shepherding, and they're excellent. Even in the Bible, Rachel was a shepherd. What is the problem? And, you know, there are a lot of influence of family and so and so and so. One day he told me, he's living in the desert, right? You're invited to my second wedding. I say, oh no, Khalil. He married a younger wife, and of course 9 months later, It was so proud, like, how do you call this bird with the many colors?
Peacock.
Peacock.
I got a boy. I have a boy. He made a big, zuarra, we call it, a kind of celebration. I got a, but what happened, you think? Very clever, very smart, this boy. He grew and grew. Whenever, I met him, talking, very smart. He had no interest in the sheep. He finished school, he finished high school, he went to study medicine doctor. He finished his medicine doctor in Switzerland and came back to Beersheba Hospital. In Beersheba, we have a big hospital, working there as a medicine doctor. Sorry, his heart was totally
Different.
shepherding. But I saw it from this age. And that's why when Khalil, we read it, and do you love me? You see the point?
Yeah.
Do you love me? The most important thing. Let me say by this introduction, the moment we stop loving what we are doing, if we do it just for honor, for name, for money, like pastoring, like, whatever leading, better to leave it and to go back, to start building your love to the Lord. From the beginning, as a child. Don't continue. Don't continue. We cannot be leaders if we don't love the Lord. All the time, every day, every morning. I do it because I love the Lord. So this is very, very strong demand from us. If you love me, you will be able to do it. You see? Only this is the condition. Do you love me? So, why I share this? Because so many of you have heard the Greek, Philo and
Agape.
it's not in our culture at all. In Hebrew there is only one word. One
Chesed.
word. Love. לאהוב, אהבה. אהבה. אתה אוהב אותי. Song of Song. She called her my beloved. אשר אהבה נפשי. אשר אהבה נפשי. Remember verse 8, first chapter. Where are you? The one that אהבה נפשי, my soul loves. We don't have this. You understand?
No
It's the
breaking.
same love.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Jesus talked to them in Greek or in Hebrew. They talk between themselves in Greek or in Hebrew. Somebody has to go back to the culture, like omit the naked and put outer garment and go back to the Hebrew. Do you love me? Do you love me? Do you love me? So that's why I share this with pastors. And I can't tell you, it deepens in many hearts to go back to see who is really Jesus. I mean, you understand, to bring him back to the roots, back to the land, back to the culture, back to where it grew up. So, those of you pastors, Bible teachers, also remember what I shared with you. I mean, you can go on agape, phileo, whatever you want. But remember also what you got from Israel. Okay?
Thank you.
Thank
Prayer,
you
in
very
prayer.
much. Let us